Guys, welcome to Rising Vibration. I am driving and I've been wanting to do a series of readings this week, but I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But sorry for the shaking, it's going to shake a little bit, so sorry for the video on that, but I want to do a series. Oh my god. Anyway, I wanted to do something with each one of the zodiac signs that, for instance, ruined your life, completely fucked up your life, and people can say, it's your fault that this happened, but sometimes you really have people in your life that screw up your life, and anyway, you have people who ruin your life and you wonder if they're ever going to get their karma back. So for instance, Libra ruined my life. Will they ever get the karma back for what they did, etc., etc.? So that's what this, my nose is running, it's cold. But seriously, this reading is called, let's get back serious. This reading is called They Ruined My Life. Will they ever get payback? I hope you guys do enjoy the reading. Please don't take it that seriously. It's more for fun because it's not good to wish ill will on anyone. It's just a method of venting about your frustrations and just kind of look at this like a release for any frustration you can be having with a past partner who really ruined your life. So I hope you guys enjoy the reading. Take care. Hey guys, welcome to Rising Vibrations. I just want to start off by explaining that these readings are not to wish any ill will or bad luck on anyone. I have a lot of people who don't even watch the video who are making comments as such. That is not the rationale for these readings, and that is not the intent behind the reading. Yeah, so that's the whole point, that everyone has a dark a negative side and a positive side. This is more to look at the dark side of a personality or of a zodiac sign, because that's what happens when someone treats you poorly, or when someone does you wrong, or someone treats you bad. They are reacting to their darker, lower base energy. So that's the nature of the readings. I hope you guys enjoy them. Take care. Bye-bye. This is for the Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign who did you dirty, and you want to know if they're going to get their karmic payback. They did you wrong and you want to know if they're going to get their payback or comeuppance. You feel like this person ruined your life. This is not a reading to wish any ill will on any one of the elemental signs or do harm to any one of the signs. Please, before you make any comments about the nature of the reading, I think you owe it to yourself and also to the reader to at least listen to it. Otherwise, I don't think you really need to make a comment. We're going to look at the karmic energy associated with each one of the signs. In this case, it will be for Gemini. And then we're going to look at the energy if they did you wrong in the area of love. We're going to look at the energy if they did you wrong in the area of friendship. And then finally, we're going to look at the energy if they did you dirty or wrong in the area of money and career. So the karmic energy for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, male or female, is Major Arcana. This is mother and child. This is them trying on a new, different kind of a suit than they've ever worn before. I don't know why that's coming across. This is them trying even to be an adult when they're still a kid. That's what I mean by a new shoe or a new look. This is them trying on something big and different that is not their typical way of being. So to give another example, if they're really talkative, they might try to be more quiet. If they don't like to study, they can try to study a new topic and learn about it. If they're a player, they can try to be serious and committed, try to be committed. If they're used to being in fast and loose relationships, they can try to be in more stable relationships. This is somebody who's trying to do something different, trying to grow, trying to evolve, trying out new and different things in their life, and they have the best intention. They're really curious about themselves and their ability to change and to grow up, essentially. It's a really interesting energy in this mother and child, and it feels very positive. So this is for a Virgo, sorry, this is for a Gemini. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign that did you dirty in the area of love. Will they finally get their karmic payback and come up and say, did you wrong, and your karma clear? We have it's extremely similar energy because this is the moon here. This is the moon. And this is the moon, major arcana, both major arcana. This is a big deal. This is a big deal in the life of Gemini right now. Again, they can be trying to grow up. They could feel like what they did to you, they needed to do to you as a symbol of their own independence or becoming adult or being an adult or being adult-like, especially if you were having an affair and they broke off the affair, feeling like it was the right thing to do. I'm not sure why that is coming across. So let's continue in the area of love. They did you wrong in the area of love, and you want to know if they're going to get their karmic comeuppance. We have the 9 of Pentacles. And we have the 10 of Cups. So that's interesting because it looks like in love, especially depending on what they did, there will be a time where they have to be alone, or they will, whatever they had could end, it could not work out, but they're going to have grown from it in this 10 of Cups. They're going to have learned a lot about that situation. There's a lot of growth here in the area of love and relationships. So there could have been issues, honestly, around maturity, about them not being really mature for the situation, but still having the best intentions. So you have to understand from a karmic standpoint, this is kind of out of our grasp to fully understand what happens there. But I always think the intention behind it is very important. And also the maturity level. If you have a Gemini who's really immature, really young, really lacks experience, and they really make big, bad, horrible mistakes, you have to give them a little bit of room to maneuver in terms of karmic payback or retribution, or what you feel is karmic payback and retribution, because the person is still growing and learning, and everybody's entitled to make mistakes. Even in the 9 of Pentacles, you have to remember in the 8 of Pentacles, that's a person who's making a lot of mistakes and making those pentacles. And even though they may move on to the 9, we're always going to, that's symbolic of learning. We're always going to be learning and making mistakes and growing from those mistakes. And this is a person who's trying to grow and had good intentions. So this is the group of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, male or female, that did you dirty, that I'm speaking to right now. And things that they didn't know, they would do it different now. If they knew now what they knew then, they would behave different. But again, that's an element of experience. Hindsight is 20/20. So we all have to learn that in life, that hindsight is 20/20. If I would have known then what I knew now, I would behave differently. How many of us would say that? So it's something honest here. There's something honest here that I'm seeing. I want to pull one more for those who have a Gemini who weren't acting from this positive standpoint. They were very negative, and it was clear that they had the maturity, but they were still acting, from a very negative space, and they did you dirty and ruined your life. Will they get their karmic come up in retribution? We have the Hierophant. This one keeps showing up, by the way, today. So I feel like, it depends on the situation. Really, that's obviously so. In any case, it is the case. But this is the Hierophant. This is really knowing the difference between right and wrong. And if it was true that they knew the difference between right and wrong, then probably their karmic retribution will be different in terms of learning from their mistakes. How do you learn from your mistakes? If you cheat on someone, then usually at some point you don't know how bad that hurt a person until you go through the same thing. Someone cheats on you who you love and you care about. So it's something like that here. We're going to leave it there. We're going to move on to friendships. So you have a friendship with a Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign who did you dirty, and you want to know if they're going to get their karmic retribution. We have the King of Wands, and we have the Major Arcana of the Chariot. This keeps coming up too. This is really interesting because for me, this is doing what's right and also doing what's wrong, and then sometimes having to figure it out. And we end up with the little Page of Cups. You know, again, this is someone who perhaps reacted to spontaneously, not thinking things through with the Major Arcana of the Chariot, doing something that had a big consequence without really thinking it through, and then trying to come back and fix it. And maybe they can't even fix it because the problem is too big. But they didn't have a bad intention, was a lack of thinking things through. And you learn later on in life that sometimes you have to take your time and take some delays and think things through before you react and do something that you might later regret. That's what we have here. So they're going to learn the lessons that we all learn in life in terms of getting their karmic retribution or payback. Something everybody has to learn and go through in the area of work and money. We have the Queen of Cups. They did you wrong in the area of career, work, money. We have the Six of Swords. And finally, we have the Major Arcana of the World. This came in the same place in the last reading for Leo. It came in the same exact position. So this is something like them being in a situation where they are thinking more about their past and their future, not being totally happy in their work life or in their career life. Again, looking more on the past and on the future, which is not necessarily a positive thing. They can also be fantasizing about the time when they had parents or someone else that would take care of them and not wanting to do it by themselves, or still wanting in some way to be taken care of or nurtured, feeling like they need more time. So they're feeling a bit of dissatisfaction in the area of work, career, or money, and rethinking about what should happen in their future. Let's say, how if it looks like this now, how will my future look? This is where the Gemini is. So that to me is saying that they're not completely satisfied with their work life right now, and not knowing how much longer they can keep this up or sustain this. We're going to pull 4 of these. No, sorry. We're going to pull 3 of these because I'm getting a little bit tired. So will the Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign who did someone dirty in the area of love finally get their comeuppance? We have the 10 of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups. This is them kind of getting on with their life, not thinking so much about the past relationship that they had. So put it like that, you can feel like they did a lot of damage, and they might be so naive they don't even realize the damage that they did. So what do they say? Ignorance is bliss. That's what's happening here. If it hasn't been acknowledged to them in very clear terms what they did wrong and how it hurt you, they're not aware of it with the Major Arcana of the Hierophant here, and also with Major Arcana Moon. They're not aware of it, so they can just get on with their life from the 9 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. They're just getting on with their life. They're not aware of it. They may be naive to the damage that they did. In the area of friendships, if they damage you there, we have the King of Cups. So, again, this is them trying to fix or repair things, and they might not even know what they did wrong, or they may not even be aware of how they fully hurt you or damaged you. So yeah, they I don't know, or they're just thinking about other things that have nothing to do with you. I just feel a person who is ignorant to the facts of the matter here. That's what I'm getting all over this reading. They have to grow up a little bit before they fully understand. And in time, when they look back, remember the hindsight is 2020, they might be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Oh, that was bad. Might not be until later. And then again, I think the karmic circumstances will be different. And then in the area of love, we have major arcana, temptation. This is like strength. In the area of work, this is, again, them finding their way, them figuring out what they want to do. I just feel like the Gemini is trying to grow up and get their life together. And before anything can be addressed, they have to grow to a point where they can reflect and look back on their past and realize how to behave or do things differently as they become more mature in their life. That was a very interesting reading. That was for Gemini. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. Otherwise, you guys take care. Bye-bye.